In this era of smartphones where vast quantities of information are readily available at our fingertips, there's only so much time in a day where we can learn new things. Whether you're studying for an exam, or you're looking to learn a new skill, or simply want to feed your curiosity, we've got you covered. Thanks to neuroscience, we now have a better understanding of how we learn and the most effective ways our brains process and retain knowledge. In today's video, we're going to cover 10 proven ways you can start learning faster, so let's jump right in. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Noyan, a general practitioner based in the UK. This expectation of you needing to teach somebody about the topic you're trying to learn really boosts your learning and helps you remember more. Much research has been done on this phenomena, but one study illustrates this particularly well. In this study, two sets of participants were studying the same passage, but with different expectations. One group was expecting to teach an audience at the end of their passage, and the other group was expected to do an exam on it. At the end of the study, both groups were tested on the material, and the group that was expecting to teach did better than the group who were expecting a test. This expectation changes your mindset so that you engage in a more effective approach to learning than those who simply learn to pass a test. Think about it, if you're expecting to teach a topic to an audience, then you break down the material into small, simple, understandable chunks. You seek out the key points and organize the information in a coherent structure, and in the process you have a better understanding of it. One example of this concept being used is the Feynman's technique, which states pretend to teach a concept that you want to learn about to a child in the 6th grade. Write down your explanation and say it out loud. Identify the gaps in your explanation, go back to the material to understand it better, then review and simplify your explanation again. This is great because often when we don't fully understand the topic, we hide behind these complex jargon words. But when we're forced to simplify our language to explain something to a child, we have a deeper grasp of the subject. We learn much faster if we break down our study sessions into 30 to 50 minutes of studying, followed by 5 to 10 minutes of rest. This is important because our brain processes information in two states, the focused and the diffuse state. The focused thinking is simple. This is when we are focused and concentrating on a topic and studying it to trying to learn. Diffuse state, on the other hand, looks at the big picture. This is where we connect the dots and link neural pathways. Diffuse thinking occurs when we let our mind wander freely. As a result of this, we often get great thoughts and ideas when we're in the shower or when we're in bed. That's why taking a shower or going for a run in between the study sessions can actually lead to an important breakthrough. One good way to practice this is using the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and give yourself a 5 minutes of break. And after doing this for 4 to 5 sessions, then you take a longer break. If you're not familiar with this concept, I would highly recommend you watching one of my videos where I have covered this concept in more detail. I'll leave a link up here somewhere for you to check it out. When we use multiple methods to learn something, we use different parts of our brain to store that information. And as a result, this information becomes more interconnected and embedded in our brain. For example, in order to learn something new, rather than simply relying on reading about it, I use other media such as YouTube videos, podcasts, and any audio files that might be available on that subject matter, and this stimulates different parts of my brain, helps me to truly learn the information faster and understand it from different perspectives. This idea is about association of new concepts with the ones that we already understand. The more we relate new concepts to the ideas we already understand, the faster we learn the information. This is because we can then visualize and recall the new information much more easily, and as a result it helps us to fundamentally understand it better and recall it more accurately. Elon Musk uses this method, and he views knowledge as a semantic tree. When learning new things, his advice is to learn the fundamental principles, i.e. the trunk and big branches, before you get into the leaves or the details, so there's something for them to hang on to. Like giving ourselves mental hooks on which to hang the new knowledge. While handwriting is slower and more cumbersome, the act of actually writing things down, we comprehend the information better, we learn faster, and also we're able to retain that knowledge for much longer. Whenever I had to learn something for an exam or otherwise, I've always made summaries from the original source in my own words. And I've made summaries from those summaries to really condense that information down into easily digestible chunks of knowledge. This way I not only learn faster, but also it saves me a great deal of time when I have to come back and revisit these topics in the future. So rather than going back to the original source, I just go and visit my own concise summaries and I refresh my memory much faster this way. Another advantage of handwriting is that you can draw diagrams and use spider webs, which was one of my favorites back in medical school, and you could really link one topic with another and make connections. This helps you process information better and really internalize it. This is especially useful to digest and break down complex topics, as is often the case in the medical world. And I might be old-fashioned, but I really enjoy the feeling of writing on a piece of paper. If you're learning a new skill, rather than doing the same thing again and again, make sure that you make slight adjustments to your practice sessions every time you do this, as this will dramatically improve how quickly you can master that skill. Our mind and body are amazing at adapting to new situations and challenges. Changing things up will challenge our mind and body not to go into an autopilot and actually pay attention to what we're doing. A great example is exercise. If you follow the same workout plan every week, after a few weeks our growth will plateau and we don't make much progress. But once in a while, if we shake things up slightly, that dramatically boosts our progress. The exact same principle applies to our brain. We need to change things up on a regular basis. However, one caveat to this is make sure that the changes are small, as making big changes to how a skill is performed won't help. Rather than trying to cram all the information in one study session, you take your time learning. Always review the information from your last practice session for a little while in the following session to stop you from forgetting about it. This is a powerful tool called spaced repetition. Essentially, you space out the review of a particular topic over a gradually longer period of time until you've learned it well, which is the key to learning fast and remembering that knowledge for a long time. Since you're going over the information multiple times, it gets easier to recall and improve your memory. I've covered this topic in great detail in another video, which I will link it up here somewhere. Please do check it out if you're not familiar with this concept. Science have proven this time and time again. Testing yourself on the knowledge that you have gained is one of the best methods of learning fast and retaining that knowledge. This is done by practice testing, which is a type of active recall, a subject I have covered in a previous video. I'll leave a link here somewhere for you to check it out. Now, usually I'm not a nap person, but I find it extremely useful to take a 20-minute nap between the study sessions. The best time to do this is usually when you're experiencing information overload, or you feel like simply your brain is shutting down and you can't take any more information. 20 minutes is that sweet spot for me where it's long enough for me to rest my eyes and wake up with a fresh mind, but not too long to drift into the deeper stages of sleep, which once interrupted, you wake up feeling more tired and groggy. Taking naps between study sessions have shown to help retain knowledge. According to one study, it boosts your recall up to 6 months later. We know we should drink more water because it's good for us. It's good for our skin, our immune system, and keeps our body functioning optimally. But staying hydrated is also key to our cognitive abilities. Drinking water can actually make us smarter. According to one study, those students who took water with into an examination room performed better than those who didn't. So drink more water, people. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.